Nice.
Do you see the hair here going on?
The hair is
You know
awesome.
what? I think it looks great.
Wow.
You're such a butt kisser.
Hi guys.
Whoa.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're
I saw
live.
live everything. Wow.
Yeah, we're live. We got that there. So yeah, for those of you that are looking at your phones and saying, "Oh, what in the world? What's going on? It's only Wednesday."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So
Happy Thanksgiving,
Gobble
everybody.
gobble.
gobble. Yeah, we wanted to be able to get this out before before that, because usually we do it on Thursday.
Yeah.
Although we did it on Friday last week, but this Friday is not going to be very conducive.
Anytime you have Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, just stir the pot.
Yeah, just expect there to be different upload
And
schedules.
then when you put flight test into the mix.
Right.
So, but we're coming to you live now. It is 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, and man, we've had an eventful past couple of weeks.
What's subscribers only mode?
Subscribers only means that only people who Happy Thanksgiving there.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. I never seen that.
The subscriber only mode is only subscribers can make a comment.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, that maybe if somebody's like trolling through and they're not.
No, the internet doesn't have trolls.
Oh, I know, but just in case.
I know.
Right.
Just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, but that's what that is.
Very cool.
That'll help us get a little bit more, a few more subscribers as well. So, where do you want to start today?
Oh my gosh, what an eventful day! What an eventful few weeks, actually.
Yes,
Lots of
Little
eventful
crazy.
things
Yeah,
happening.
if you guys turned into our last podcast, you knew that we were in Missouri with our favorite friend John Overstreet at what is affectionately known now as Flight Test Midwest HQ.
Flight Test Midwest HQ.
I'm
That's
just-
a mouthful.
I'm just calling that as many times as I can because I want a place that cool to be called Flight Test Midwest HQ. I can't say it either. So,
I love it.
no, it's what an amazing place. It is a second home for us. Going down there, Stefan, we are roping you in whether you like it or not. Next time, we are dragging you.
Roping, just
Yeah, you're a good dad and a good husband. Sick
Yes.
kiddos, all that stuff.
sometimes just gotta do the
Yeah.
old home thing.
But we did get to bring a David and
Yes.
talk
Yeah.
about the productivity in this trip was on a whole different level.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if it was because we had the David with us, but the amount of things that were getting built, just getting things accomplished were off the charts. And thanks to that trip, I think there wouldn't have been a reality that we wouldn't have hit the deadline for the Flirkin.
The flirt. Oh, well, we're gonna see the Flirkin in a little bit.
Maybe.
Nice.
Actually, I think if people are watching live, they'll see a little bit of it right now. I didn't do a good job covering it.
No, you did. Well,
I was like,
we put the camera up just a little bit higher.
I was like,
too.
I'm going to hide this behind the table so no one sees it. And I'm looking and talking about the Flirkin. It's like, oh, well,
It's right there.
Right there.
There, yes. But we did have a really good and very productive time.
Yeah, it was.
We got last week. We got John on the podcast.
Mhm.
We had Stefan. He was able to thought it was a shindig. No, we do have an update on the shindig for you.
We do.
But which will come in a minute. But we did get Stefan in on the podcast, which was awesome. Got John in. John did an awesome job. I mean, I don't know. It was just a fun time all together.
Well, and to hear John's heart, a lot of people assume, that because Master Series are coming out, that, John's heart is only for Master Series. John's heart is to keep people growing in the hobby and keep people just constantly learning more and doing more. And his skills and his passion obviously are around the more complicated planes. But to hear him break it down where it's like, I don't want you to buy a Master Series if you're new to building, new to the hobby. That takes a lot of discipline. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's obviously very enticing to want to, say, no, this is good enough for beginners. You just have to have patience. Now he's like, no, I want the flight test community to stay growing. And it's just really cool to hear him unpack that and just, the vision behind Master Series, the vision behind the limited, and then also what he's doing now with the Sky FX.
Yes,
which is really cool. Which is the fully printed planes, and they are flying off the shelves, literally. Like that.
Boom.
Shalakalaka.
Yeah. So good trip. Awesome time, and we got to get done with what we needed for content, and then also get the Flirkin flying. And
get the Flirkin flying,
Yes.
but you had to build the Flirkin first.
We had to build, and I made a comment to Lee, and I was like, Lee, we're gonna have this before lunch. I'm not gonna eat lunch until the Flirkin's flying.
Mm-hmm.
And so what does Lee do? But he's like, hey, getting close to lunch and kind of getting hungry.
and I had a bowl of
A
soup,
big bowl of steaming hot soup
and I ate it right in front of him.
right in front of me, and I was committed. I wasn't going to eat, but
he did good. He didn't eat.
yeah, thanks to the good friend Dave. He stepped in and helped me get the servos in it, and by 12:30 we were eating.
Oh yeah, it was
and
nice.
it was
good.
the best soup I ever had.
Yeah,
But it's a weird thing. That the Flurkin is basically kind of like a wing platform with forward swept wings. It's something I've never done before. Yeah, you can pull it up now. I mean, it's
we're
there.
already talking about it.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah, this is, by the way, this was finished off between late hours on 2 different nights. And then by the time we were coming home, we were flying home actually. And we had it plank. So this is still on track to hopefully be the December 3rd release. And I love it. It is, I think it's one of the
Is that a good?
most proud planes I've ever been part of.
Yeah.
And it was a team effort too. I mean, we have you first off naming it, the vision being established around the name Flurkin.
Yeah,
you got-
you built the plane, so the plane was built around the name.
Yeah, because you wanted to call the Tudor the Flurkin.
I wanted to call something the Flurkin.
Crazy.
Lee has had a massive
You
influence.
know, this
in-
number has been trying to call me all day. I hope it's not the natural gas people.
You need to take call.
You want to take the call on the podcast?
Yeah, I can plug.
you
him
can
in.
do that.
Where's my plug at?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
It could be a telemarketer
Hello.
too.
Right.
But no, it was. Where was I talking? Oh yeah, it just quick turnaround. But yeah, it started with
Yeah.
you naming it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like we can't have a trainer be a Flurkin. It has to have like this crazy personality, and
Oh, then we got the tutor,
then we got the Tudor,
and then the Flurkin came afterwards.
and the Flurkin came afterwards. And
What came first, the Tudor or the Flurkin?
Actually, I think the name Flurkin came
before the Tudor.
Before the
but
Tudor.
Yeah.
But the plain tutor came before the Flurkin.
Yeah,
Weird.
the Tudor was in
Yeah.
full effect mode
If-
like
if-
a year
if
and a
you
half
would-
ago.
Yeah, if you wouldn't have had an intervention between my two best friends, it would have been called the Simple Trainer.
Nice.
That's lame.
Nice.
The Tudor's so much better. I mean, look at all the puns we have, all the potty humor. I mean,
Yeah,
all that would have been
so-
gone. It just
so
would have been a
great.
fun plane.
So
And
fun.
those are flying off the shelf still.
Oh man, yeah, I love to see how many people are getting the hobby through that.
Yeah.
Perfect timing with the year. Boy, we have a lot of people.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Happy
let's-
Thanksgiving, everybody.
people.
Yeah. Hey, so before we forget,
Thanksgiving.
Dan is just he's on top of everything, but the Shinden. So we do have a little
Mhm.
bit of an update on the Shinden,
Yeah.
Dan. John
He's accepted the quest.
he has accepted the challenge. John will be designing the Shinden.
Mainly because I can't.
Here, I'm going to show you something. This is just some. Here's the weight, and I'm lifting it off the shoulder. And
Yes.
it's gone.
You know what? It'll finally slow that guy down so I can play catch up. I don't think so. He'll probably be like, oh, yeah, I had a couple spare hours yesterday, so I designed this.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
that dude's an animal.
Yes.
He is.
So, and then there was a question about the bolt cutters. I don't know. Stefan is arming himself.
Listen, whenever there's a Lee in the building, you have to just make sure that you have some sort of weapon on hand.
Oh
So-
my goodness.
Yeah, no. Reality is this is what you need to cut our landing gear wire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, this is what makes it easy. You can do it with less or a Dremel cutoff tool, but this is what we use in house to cut our landing gear wire. And
Oh.
Lee brought it over,
Or a
'cause-
pinky.
or pinky, yeah. So we'll just put that down so it's not so distracting.
Yeah, maybe so. So what's it going to be? Goldfish.
This is my snack for the past 4 weeks. By the way,
Yes.
They're probably stale by
no,
now.
they're good enough. I can
No.
slate them.
If they're not stale, I don't know if you should be eating them with all this preservatives. So
baked.
Dan, is the Shindig going to be a master series?
Yes.
It's going to be a limited special master series.
Mm.
It's going to be fun.
There's
It'll-
going to be other titles. You
It
just
will
don't know what
not.
they are
It
yet.
will not be folded together. It'll be molded together for
Yes.
sure.
Oh,
very nice.
Yeah, and yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
I am too.
Looking forward, especially since Josh isn't doing it.
And I'm
Right.
I'm totally okay with that. So you know what? we finished off going back to the Flurkin because I'm
Mhm.
excited. That's coming up on the 3rd. Is that next week?
Yeah, it's a week from Friday.
Oh my gosh,
It's crazy.
Wow. Okay. We just got the photos for the store and everything, and Dan, you'll be getting files soon. Is that right? Yeah, because we want to get ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting Dan the files soon. Stefan,
Yes,
you got to fly the Flurkin.
The
I did.
Stefan.
Hello. I actually got to fly the Flurkin today for the first time.
What'd you think of it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
And I don't, that's not a token love. All right. So I flew the Arrow and a couple other wing platforms. And this one, in my opinion, was definitely the most stable, first of all. Secondly, it's just kind of like a different type of aesthetic flying through the air. Like we were talking outside, there's always, like, when you look at it, there's like a different way to look at it every single time, right? It just looks different in every different light, different angle, because of those geodesic kind of layers that you have there.
Weird stuff going
There
on
is,
with it.
but we were talking about, it's kind of like a sports car and a spaceship, like mashed together.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually really, really cool. So
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it. There was a little bit of wind up there, some turbulence. It was fantastic. Didn't have any
love
issues.
the louvers.
Yeah, the louvers are awesome. They reminds me of a Mach 1 Mustang.
Dude, pull the nose off. This is a crazy thing, and this is not even the final version.
Boom.
But there's a lot of real estate, in that bad boy going on. So you can put your FPV up here, you can put your battery down here, or you can put your battery here, your FPV, and your camera right there.
All the things.
So you can have two cameras just like a quad, but
it's literally, you can have pretty much anything going there.
And
The other,
a lot of breathing going on.
yes, and that's a huge thing,
Oh,
especially with VTX and all that kind of stuff. Now, the other really cool thing that I was enjoying was this thing is on a 4-cell on the budget B, budget B. Okay, not even like a giant motor. It is fast.
Oh, you put it on a 4-cell.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
oh my.
he was at one end of the runway and then at the other in like, it felt like half a second. It was crazy.
Chasing Jason was behind me. That's why it has that little love kiss from the side. We hit each other while he was flying.
There. Oh, nice.
But I was like, bye, Jason. And I just went full throttle. And it's just like,
and Jason's quad can probably go 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's no 100-mile-an-hour, wing yet, but it could be. It could be. And what I love is you could go vertical, just chop it, stop it dead, and then immediately just change direction and go again. It defies the laws, and I want to learn more about forest swept wings, because the characteristics that are in this, it's intoxicating.
Yeah.
I want to get a butter smooth Christmas or a snowy day, get some cameras on there, and just go cruising. You know?
It's a great idea.
So
it's a fun plane, and like I said, I don't fly a ton, and wings can sometimes be a little bit scary to like approach at times, just because of like, oh, they don't have this and they don't have that, and they're really fast. And if I roll it, I don't know what side's up. This one, you don't have to worry about that, first and foremost. Secondly, it's super docile, and it self levels almost really nicely. It's kind of
a little bit of polyhedral.
Yeah, that polyhedral, it's super nice. And then at the end of the day, like, you put that into the wind and you dead stick it. Like that landing that we had out there today, that was a dead stick landing. I didn't have any power, and it just was like, it's fantastic.
That's crazy. So
really nice.
When one of the first models that he did out in Missouri, every time that you would goose on it,
it would just spike in the ground.
Oh man.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it was crazy.
There is a decent thrust angle in this thing, and we got out, and it's straight as an arrow now. But remember, you launched it. It's like, oh, it's not so bad, and I gave it throttle, and it looked like someone took the nose and just smacked it. And I was like, oh. And so we just started bending the power pod.
At one point, you ripped it out of it.
Yeah, that was therapeutic.
Yes.
Awesome. I love it. Wit Pilot is saying less Flurkin, more B-17. We definitely have some B-17 for you coming.
Yes.
First, Tim Carlson was asking, will the new Legacy landing gear be sold separately for the original versions? The 3D file,
better yet,
is going to be released. You will not even need to buy anything from us. So I know, free the evil business people giving out free STLs.
Yeah, that'll be with the FTCA member. It'll probably be the aircrew.
And it'll follow later, though, right?
Oh yeah, after that it'll be.
Yeah.
But
then,
for this month,
and I think what I'll talk today, once we get through the legacies, make sure we have enough. There are people that don't have 3D printed landing gears, so we'll probably need to put a little kit together.
Yeah, we can put something together.
But we don't want to make you have to do that. So, and yes, it will fit the stock Legacy. Nothing's changed with the wooden mount at all. The whole spacing and everything is the same.
Yeah.
That's good.
Look what Dan asked there. What's the power setup for the Flurkin?
We got to test it on the F, but I think it'll even fly off the F. Right now, we really have a lot of these budget Bs. They're a great motor, 1200 kV. We're trying to find a way to get people flying cheaply, affordably, and
Mhm.
also I say we have a lot of these Bs, so
Yeah.
we're really incentivizing
Right.
planes around that. And so
The budget B.
The budget B.
I guarantee right now you could put a B, a C, and we got to test it with the F.
Yeah.
Because it cones down really nicely where there's a lot of space no matter what prop you put in there. But you can easily go from a 6-inch all the way up to a 9-inch, and no torque on the 9-inch, which really shocked me.
Oh, that's nice.
So, and I got a couple things up our sleeves for later in the year that we are going to have some fun with the Flurkin too. So it's a versatile. Let's just say it's a very, very versatile platform. I know he keeps me.
No, I'm just the sound it's gonna make
Oh yeah,
going over the snow.
That's yeah, I like that.
Is that?
I
how
thought
it's
he was
gonna
telling
sound?
me, "Shut up, Bixler, you talk too much."
No, I
No.
just say shut up. Come on, man.
So,
never.
All right, so we talked about that, and then let's talk about B-17 here because we just finished the Meglacy,
Yeah.
Yes.
and that we
today.
flew it today, and it looks
Thank
amazing.
you, Lord.
That we're gonna love that plane again someday.
Well, I am not, and this is I just put it out there because these are our faithfuls.
Yes,
You know, that plane took a lot of bandwidth,
like all of it.
all of it, and then
Yeah.
some.
That's
Yeah,
why we did an entire month of content on it.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
Well, and think about this. That plane represents not just building a big plane, but it
No,
represents
no.
learning, first of all, assembling the CNC machine, learning the CNC machine,
Yes.
learning the program around the CNC machine, and then learning design programming around foam design.
Right.
Mhm.
Because it's not Corel Draw what I use all the day. And then learning the airplane or the wing file design, then ultimately cutting it out, putting it together.
There's a lot.
I'm tired.
Hey,
but to your
you
point,
can have tomorrow off.
thanks, man. To your point, it was a labor of love that was a little bit too heavy on the labor.
It looks good though,
Yeah,
going
but-
through the air.
we are thanks to that Missouri trip, we're back on track with the Flurkin, and I
Mhm.
am fired up with the stem. We talked about the Tenet, right?
Not a
Mm,
ton.
Not
Well,
a whole lot.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean you.
December.
Yeah, in December. I mean, you can talk about whatever
Yeah.
you want to talk
We
about.
we got a whole new STEM chapter opening up, just kind of like the same on the same lines with the Easy, but meant for older kids,
Mhm.
with a really amazing design called the FT Tenet, and that's going to be predominantly for our classrooms.
Yeah.
And I am so excited.
Yeah, it's a pretty
I mean,
cool design.
It's gonna be sick.
It's awesome when you think about like people saying I want to get in the hobby, and they get in the hobby and they choose to have Flight Test be that catalyst. I am so stoked about the opportunity to proactively go into classrooms
Mhm.
and introduce them to this amazing hobby, introduce them to our community, but also have these kids able to take this activity home and then do it with their family and have that reinforced. And then our goal is always to impact people in a positive way through flight.
Yeah.
And this is a great way to get the kids in school, get them fired up, have the family get fired up too, have them do that activity. And then hopefully, the kids could say, I want to do this for a living. I am so blessed. We're so blessed to wake up every morning, work with our best friends, and do something we're passionate about that God's put in our heart.
Yeah.
I want to see every kid do that. I want to see every kid have access to that.
Oh yeah.
So I think the Tenet is another tool that we're going to have, and I think it's one of the best tools we have. So putting a lot of heart in that, and that's going to be my new labor of love.
I like it.
Music.
Besides the B-17.
Well, the B-17 20-footer is going to be. We still have about 9,000.
Yeah.
What's the number there, Stefan? Till we hit 2 million.
We're at 1,991,000.
Ooh, it jumped.
50 or something like that. I think.
So under 10,000.
Yeah, just under 10,000.
You realize that when we put out we hit 1 million, we'll make the tank fly. We were like 200,000 shy of 1 million,
I think so.
and that
I'm
happened
gonna
very
check
quickly.
that right now.
I want to see it happen before this year, but also I'm excited about just that prospect
Yeah.
of getting to start the B-17, but also just how the family of Flight Test has grown, and it's exciting. So yeah, you will see a big B-17, and with what we learned from the Meglacy, we are not going to do it in 3 weeks.
No.
This will be a long journey, especially with what we intend with the B-17. As I mentioned before, we want to take what we learned with the ME-262 and the Glamorous Glen, the Mustang, and the laser tag and the explosions. We want to make a laser tag interactive thing where the B-17 is armed with a bunch of IR going out, and then the targets below the B-17 are for the other guys to fly. John's MEs and the different attack planes, that would normally attack a B-17, and when they hit it, it'll release smoke. It'll release different things to reveal damage.
Right.
And we want this to be a repeatable process, not something that's a one and done, but we want to engineer it. So I think when we do start that project, it's not going to just be, hey, look what we built. Let's fly it. Let's go ahead and do this. And then ultimately this big thing, then we move on. This will be an interactive experience that we'll be able to pull out of flight events, flight fests.
Yeah.
And then, okay, let's do this experience with you, and you.
Right.
And that's going to be a lot of engineering, and we're going to take you guys along for the ride.
We're at
Success.
1,991,846 to be exact.
I think it could be done before.
It could happen in December, possibly.
I'm stoked.
You just never know.
Hey, if I haven't said thank you, everybody, especially like you said, the faithfuls here that tune in. Thank you. I mean, thank you for getting us to this point. It is not a natural thing for a model airplane channel, a aviation-based channel, even to get to this level of support and community size. That is wonderful, and you guys are part of that story, and it truly means the world to us.
It does.
I'm very thankful around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you should be thankful.
I mean, we're always thankful.
Hey, so let's Robert Bailey. He says, wish you would go back to the original build videos. They were more interesting.
I wonder if he's talking about the Master Series.
I don't know. I mean, because I don't think that I think that your build videos now are more interesting than before because they're.
Robert, do me a favor. Yeah, give me an example so that we can talk about it, because I do want to make sure build videos are
fun
impactful,
and enjoyable, and interesting. And,
yeah. So if it's Master Series with the symbol mapping, that is definitely meant for people that are used to our techniques. They know the symbols that John has put out. They've watched the videos, and frankly, they don't want to have to watch videos step by step.
Right.
But with my videos, I still do step by step, as we call it, soup to nuts.
Yep.
Beginning to end, from starting all the way to the end flight. So let me know if there's something I'm missing. I'm happy to address it.
Yeah, keep us posted.
Yeah.
Go.
Very good.
So what else is cooking here?
Well, let's see. We you guys were gone for Thursday to Sunday, right? And you're back Monday, something like that.
Yeah.
My water.
Yeah, that's yours.
Okay.
You guys came back. Flirkin was all up crazy. We finished the Meglacy, and then we flew that today. We got Thanksgiving. We got some Black Friday stuff coming and some sales coming down in the store. That's something coming up here.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You've been working hard on that.
Yeah. So,
and actually, you too, Steph.
A little bit here and there, you know.
Yeah. So we'll have some sales. We're gonna do like the traditional Black Friday, which actually starts Thanksgiving evening. So that's when our newsletter is gonna go out, and when the newsletter goes out, you'll want to look at it because there's a lot of good deals on there. A lot of good deals, and especially for going into this season of building and everything.
Yeah.
There's also some really good deals on some value bundles. Our current store sales, just for our monthly sale,
you guys have been wonderful.
It's been that one is pretty good too. So check out that email.
Well, the shipping rates. We had a huge milestone that we were able to hit, which gave us the ability to negotiate much better shipping rates. And I think that was one of the biggest deal killers, is high shipping, and that is way better.
Yeah.
Especially up to Canada is a whole lot better.
Yeah.
So I mean the deals are going to be pretty significant. Significant. So hey, let's talk. So Robert Bailey he responded. He said, "No, when you started like the simple series
back in the D."
So is it? I'm still confused. I mean, like give us an example of a boring. So what a build video that you say is not interesting.
Yeah, not great version.
Not great.
Let us know which plane is that.
That'd be easier to determine.
And this is definitely not compatible. We really want to
know.
This is we need this food for thought, and build videos are challenging to keep energetic, but we do want to keep it at a pace
that people can learn and build, but also that doesn't bore them.
And by the way, anytime you have a plane like the Tudor or a simple series, you will have step by step, like even more like this is, we're going to put the servo on. The servo does this. So it'll be much more grounded.
Informative.
Yeah. And there's a reason for that, because I mean, like you brought up the Tudor. The Tudor's a good one because that's going to be a trainer that we're going to be using and using for STEM and everything else. Correct. So those videos are, are kind of double duty. Just miss the way Josh did them. Josh still does it.
I think he
I don't know.
maybe there's Master Series because we do have a lot of Master Series.
Yeah, he might. You must be thinking, hey, Robert, a plane. Like, give us an exact plane.
Yeah.
Say, I didn't like the video for the, and then fill in the blank.
And also, Robert, check out Flight Test Tech because that is where a lot of our technical channels are, or technical builds are now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we can go from there.
Yes. Keep
Super.
it posted.
I see a video on what seems to be.
Oh, CG, what I think is slightly nose heavy.
That is great. And we actually have an early video with Josh Scott that addresses that on how to tell when a plane's in balance. And I can give you guys a description here. If you're capable of aerobatic flight, what you want to do is you want to pitch the airplane up about 20 degrees or so, roll it inverted. If the plane kind of follows that arc back down very gently towards the ground, inverted, then it's balanced pretty good. If it pitches up when you roll it inverted, it's tail heavy. So if you have a lot of
now wait a second, that sounds really just do this, just go upside down. I mean, if that were me, I would go.
So here's telltale signs of a tail heavy airplane are this: pitch sensitivity. If you notice that you're trying to take it off the ground and it just is really giving you a lot of grief taking off the ground, real squirrely on the rudder and stuff, that's also a really good sign. A lot of people are like, oh, this plane handles terrible on the ground. So let me check out the center of gravity. Okay, your center of gravity is aft, and that makes a really, really squirrely plane, especially with the tail dragger
because it's throwing that weight around. Right?
Yeah, it's just unstable, and so and then if you have lots of pitch sensitivity, and then also you notice like your ailerons and your rudder, they couple really awkwardly. That's a good indicator. But what I oftentimes do is when I'm flying the airplane, and it's like, okay, something doesn't feel quite right. Is this where it needs to be? I will roll it inverted and just stop it inverted and see what it does. And if with the neutral sticks neutral, if it kind of follows the arc back down where you don't have to put forward pressure, which would be up inverted, that would be an indicator that that's good. If it immediately goes up, you roll it inverted and it continues to climb, that is a sign that it's tail heavy. Yeah, and Josh Scott, look back at the earliest ones. I believe we have that tied in with trimming your airplane.
All right. Well, so Borgian evolution, which I think is Cyborg.
Yes, that's Cyborg.
Yeah. He said, back up. Whoa, slow down. So start with the very first launch. I still have not flown a full pack on any attempt I have done.
That's a tough spot.
First launch.
Yeah.
Center of gravity first launch.
I'm guessing. Hey,
oh boy,
Bill. What you need to do is you need to get an Aura. and if I'm not mistaken, the Aura board with the satellite receiver is on sale right now. You get an Aura and a free satellite receiver.
Yeah, for the price of the Aura.
Yeah.
You put those sticks together and you just chug it.
That alleviates a lot of stress because also when you take the plane off level assist, but also get it up high, you get in trouble, flip it back into level assist. We get people flying the Aura in a day. They're on level assist and then they're off level assist usually within the second day.
Yeah.
Sometimes that evening where it's like, here's the button. Okay, go have fun. And just, and they, oh, I'm in trouble. Click the button. And then they fly, take a breather. It's amazingly mentally how when people know they have that safeguard, how they're a little bit more bold to learn. To
try stuff.
Yeah. So Borgian evolution. What exactly? Give us an example of your have not flown.
Yeah, and while you're typing, I can give you guys another thing too. If you go to launch a plane that has bad center of gravity, what you will notice is immediately with all the torque, it'll torque over and spin on you. It'll sometimes pitch real harshly because you have low speed, high motor, and it'll just kind of almost act like it wants to flop and swap ends. That is a really common thing. If you're hand launching an airplane.
All right, so we're back to Robert now. I think we're to the bottom of it. So he's talking about Master Series. It looks like any of these the ones before the Master Series. I missed the simpler type planes. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, Robert, thank you for that.
Yeah, so there was a stretch that there wasn't a simple series out, but since the Tudor now. We had the Tudor and then the Legacy V2. Now the next one's going to be the Flurkin. Yeah. They're coming back. So you're just looking at the Master Series, which will have the Master Series, but that's not how all of the videos are going to be.
Yeah,
Truth.
yeah. Look at the tutor, Robert, and give us some feedback on that. I think you'll be really happy. And this gentleman to my left and right of me, gentlemen's, friends, brothers,
gentle peoples.
gentle people,
General people.
these brothers, they have really helped me out in the past 6 months to just take so much off my plate and enabled me to get back in designing. So I'm truly grateful to both of you guys. But I'm back. I don't know if that's a good thing for everyone, but I'm
think
back
it's a great
designing and really loving it too. Especially the whole experience with the flirting with David.
Mm-hmm.
It was just awesome to have that kind of people around you. And let's not forget Jason McQuist in manufacturing.
For sure.
He's incredible. So what we're able to do is bring a lot back. So lots more entry level. This is the first fantasy plane I've ever done, which I'm really excited about. Normally I'm kind of cartoony or scale or semi-scale. I'm loving the
Okay.
whole unique, weird vibe stuff. So
Okay, let's talk here now. Okay, so Bill, here's a stupid question, and this would be me because I'm not much of a pilot myself. So if every time I was launching it, most of the times it was like a lawn dart, I would check my crap, right? Make sure
your ups are ups, downs are downs.
I've done that before.
And that could be a lawn dart, could be too nose heavy. I mean,
Yeah.
typically that's what you have. One thing to also try is you don't always need to have a full throttle when you launch. I usually actually launch my planes at 3/4 throttle. I launch it about 20 degrees up, and that gives it time to kind of follow that arc and gives me time to get back on my hands. Also, one thing I'd recommend too is hold it, like say if you're mode 2, hold the transmitter with your right hand with your hand on the elevator aileron, okay? Use your mouth, move your throttle stick up, and then launch it with your left hand. And I know it sounds unnatural, but then you immediately have your throttle where you're not playing with your throttle, and you immediately have where you can give it some pitch control.
Yeah.
And it's just a technique.
Watch that video.
Yep.
Did you send a video?
I think yeah, in the beginner series I have techniques on hand launching and wingtip launching and stuff like that.
All right.
Well, it just sounds like I get to have some quality time with Cyborg. Come down and see me, brother. We'll get you flying.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because the dude flies a quad fantastic. If he can
Yep.
fly a quad, he can fly a plane.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can.
And plus, I get to see him. I miss you, buddy. I miss you.
Love you, buddy.
Hey, speaking of come down, we've got a visitor coming up here next couple weeks.
Next couple weeks.
Yeah, he said
Flying monkey.
the flying monkey's coming up. He's bringing a Kit Fox, is it right? A Kit Fox landing gear.
Yeah, a big one.
A big one.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I just saw a drone and a Crea. Thanks. We're a big fan of you, brother. Thanks for getting us here.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, Fred was around before Flight Test really fully existed. Like back Chad Capper Garage days, before I think even the first video drop, I think there was just a little bit of like either a teaser or something posted on RC groups or something, but that's what brought it. Matter of fact, we should get Fred on the podcast to have him share that story.
Yes.
But he has been a staple from day one.
We can do it.
Yeah.
We
have
did
the
it.
technology.
Done
So,
deal. Yes, for sure.
But Fred is just a treasure to us, and it's way too long since he's been here.
Yeah.
Yes, he got like a new job / like new hours kind of thing that he couldn't be coming up to Flight Fest all the time anymore, and so we have missed the flying monkey many moons. It's been many moons.
Yeah, no doubt. It'll be awesome to get him on. Hey, drone boy, we're doing a lot of tech talk. I like this. Drone.
A carry.
Drone A. Okay. Any
Acra.
tips? He's asking about the 3D plane edge. He's planning on building one. Any tips? Yeah. Anytime you get an aerobatic airplane, it's your first time, advanced or not advanced, go the high rates, but also dial yourself in some mid to low rates. 16 degrees, 30% expo is a really nice, just general medium
Soft.
on most airplanes. Now that's barring like flying wings. 16 degrees on some flying wings are nuts, depending on how close the ailerons are to the center of pressure, or how much like a plane it is. But most conventional planes, wing, tail, rudder, 12 to 16 degrees is a really nice range. But make sure you have that. Put 30% expo in there. Check your balance 3 times because 3D planes are there. When in doubt, favor just a touch nose heavy, and then land a calm day. The Edge 540 from the Flight Test one is just a dream to fly.
Yeah.
But it rolls like a drill bit. So keep the throws to a minimum until you're comfortable and get it nice and high and have fun.
Yeah, our good buddy Andrus.
Yeah.
He smashed that out the park. He did a really good job.
I love it. We should do more tech talk. I like that.
Well, hey, we can do as much as
There are no rules.
A cheria.
Yeah.
Cheria.
as long as people are gonna ask questions, because it would be all right.
Yeah,
We
we
can
don't
have
want to
tech talk, and then nobody asks any
Yeah.
questions. And we're sitting here
I have a
listening.
feeling after Christmas and stuff, with people getting the hobby, we're gonna have a lot of questions, which is
Oh, that's
awesome.
cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
we want that.
Lots of
sure.
people.
You know what? We have something. Live build.
When is that?
It's in 2
Dum,
days.
Dum, dum.
Oh man, we should get ready for that.
We should probably get ready for that.
Yeah.
For our aircrew members, they should have already gotten free plan download.
Oh
Correct.
yeah.
And for people building the tutors, please tune in. And then also, if you're just wanting to see what it's all about and just meet our great community, you don't have to necessarily build. We do Q&A during the whole time as we're building.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited. What a great idea that you had, Leo, to pick, Black Friday.
It wasn't my
evening.
idea.
Whose was it? Was it Stefan's?
It's Stefan's.
I don't have many ideas, honestly.
Stefan, you rock. I'm sorry I gave that credit falsely to Lee.
No, you're good. That was not my idea, I don't think.
All right.
It
Well,
was somebody's idea.
it's someone's idea.
It's
and
one
I
of those
love it.
people that
It
is
depends.
in this four walls.
Well, I mean, if it goes well, then I'll accept it.
Lee
but-
100% would do that. Just kidding.
Oh man, no, and it's always kind of depressing because you go to Thanksgiving and you spend some quality time with family, and then after dinner, when you should be, like in the tryptophan kicking your butt and falling asleep with a smile on your face, suddenly you hear back then it was newspapers, now it's emails.
Mhm.
But everyone starts going to shop. Oh, I gotta leave early and get in line at Walmart so I can get this, $20 off, or $5 bath towels, and it immediately goes from
$5
like,
bath towels.
yeah. It immediately goes from like time to connect with
I know what
family
I'm getting
to-
for Christmas now.
yeah.
Dag
And
me.
now you can get them on Amazon 5 days early. But no, it just was kind of like you have all this laughter and fun and time with family, and all of a sudden it just kind of like goes into a whole different realm where I'm really excited, especially now with everything going on, that people can connect, but now they can have something that connects even more.
Oh yeah.
And please, I'm not shaming anyone that utilizes Black Friday to get Christmas gifts, and I'm not talking about any of that. I just
Sure you are.
I like families connecting. I mean, there's not enough of that in
Listen,
the world.
Josh
and,
likes connections,
No.
memories.
there's one universal need across the world, and that is the need for relationships.
Oh yeah.
And
For
that
sure.
was demonstrated from God
Mhm.
through our Savior, and I
Yes.
think it's a thing that when you neglect it between friends, family, kids, your wife, your husband, everything breaks down.
Oh yeah.
And that is the one glue that started from day one.
Yeah.
Was the need to build relationships. So I'm excited about this opportunity because I think it's perfectly timed, and I hope it's a regular thing.
It will be.
I get nervous about live builds.
Well, you just think of it as a build video with everybody watching.
and there's no
If
edits.
people only knew how many times you do a retake in a
Right.
build video.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, my poor son.
Just ask Noah.
Yeah.
Oh my
He'll
golly.
give you the rundown.
I get so in my head during build videos, and then we do it live, and it's like if I make a mistake and everyone's following along, I could like ruin 100 people's kits. That's
Yeah.
I don't want to
But
ship.
you know what? The
100 kits.
nice thing about it is, though, is that like if you did make a mistake, which I think probably rarely that you probably do, it's in
he made a
I
lives.
make
He
mistakes.
made a mistake in the Bloody Wonder.
Well, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I
But
forget what it was.
It
But,
was something with the
I put the servo for in the wrong location.
yes, that's right. But
I didn't mean to bring that
someone
up.
caught it first and foremost, so that's the first thing.
Right.
Secondly, foam board, it's not too expensive, which is great. It's not
No, not
carbon
at all.
fiber or anything like that. So like you should be all right, which is great.
Yeah.
No big deasy.
Josh
Well,
was good under pressure.
Yeah.
Big
So,
jester.
and if you look at what's it, Coffee is here.
Yeah.
He says-
Thanks, coffee.
Yeah, I just want to take a moment to thank Josh and the whole team for everything you've done for this community. So even if you do mess up their planes, they're still going to thank you.
Yes.
I don't want to mess up their
Also,
plans.
it could be coffee or it could be Kofi.
It could be
I'm gonna guess.
I like
Kofi.
coffee.
coffee.
That's fine. I'm
I'm-
gonna go
I'm
with
sorry.
Kofi.
Help us out, coffee.
Only because I had a buddy from college that was named Kofi.
Okay,
Okay.
It's probably coffee.
They probably could
Yeah.
be that.
But let us know.
So okay, back to drone. Drone Acheria. It says, do you have decals for the 540? Or if I plan to spray paint it, any tips on it? Can I give a tip for?
Yeah.
My
Go-
tip
go
is
ahead, dude.
fly your plane and enjoy it before you pretty it all up and are afraid to fly it.
Yeah, don't get too emotionally
Yes.
connected to foam board airplanes.
Yeah.
Also,
until you're way down that spectrum.
yes.
Yeah.
Also, if you spray paint, you can get a little sandpaper action.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the biggest thing is when Rust-Oleum 2X is
Yeah.
awesome on our foam board, and then scuff it really well. And then also you got to get like the little fuzzies that you make when you scuff it. You got to get those off, you know,
Yes.
because that's like dust. Just imagine if you put, you know, dust on something and try to paint it.
Yes.
So wipe it off. A very
Little
slightly,
Swiffer.
yeah, slightly damp towel works great. Not wet, but slightly damp, and then let
Okay.
it fully dry, and then come back and then light coats. There's something called a tack coat that you put down where you don't just hammer it instantly and then hammer it again, hammer it again. It won't bond to it. If you put down what they call a tack coat, it'll bite onto the grip, you know, the scratches. And then the paint, as it lays down after it's dried, will bite to the paint, which is biting to the surface. And
There's a
and
lot of biting going on.
that's an automotive thing. So there's
Is it a lion or a bear? What's
there's-
going on?
Oh my.
just make it funny.
Listen,
There's
he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah,
'cause
there's
he's been around.
mechanical adhesion, and then there's chemical adhesion.
Mhm.
And with auto body, you have like an etching primer, which like, you know, etches and bites into the metal, and then you have paints that you put over that chemically bind to it.
Okay.
I hope I'm saying that right, but
Not bite, bind.
bind and bite. So yeah, just be patient. Don't like paint it and then 5 minutes later say, hey, I'm gonna put another coat on,
Yeah.
or just start, you know, like pulling paint and sticking tape off to
Yeah,
mask
yeah.
it off. You will
Oh,
not be
gosh.
happy.
No
So-
happiness.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
all
so
good.
hey, wait. So I guess it was Kofi is
It is
the
Kofi.
the proper, and I what was it? SC says hi
Hey,
there,
Jeff.
coffee. I was not trying to be disrespectful, so
Sorry,
I do
Kofi.
love coffee.
Yeah,
He
that,
was
and that's
so
probably
kind. He
why.
gave us a compliment. And then we
Yes,
called him.
I
the
know,
wrong
right?
bad name. We love you, Coffee. Thank you for the kind words. And,
Yes, Kofi.
Light coat so it doesn't wrinkle the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the brown water resistant, you'll be really hard pressed to wrinkle that, even with
Mhm.
like automotive paint. It is insanely awesome. But if you do paint with like Adam's Ready board, don't even dare get that wet. Pull your can back 2+ feet.
Mm.
Mist coats, mist, dry, you know,
Yep.
and you'll have no problem with it biting into that. But you will have problems with it wrinkling and peeling if you get it wet. So
Yep.
Okay.
there's something called Floral Paint, which is pretty awesome too. I've used quite a bit with that. Yeah, really, the 2X seemed way too thick and weighty. It is heavy. It is definitely heavy. But you don't have to put a lot on, and it bites really good. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I usually paint the exposed areas. Yeah, with white Gorilla Glue, that is fantastic. White Gorilla Glue doesn't foam and act weird like the other stuff, and if it does, it's white. So
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
When-
Hey, Kofi, and I'm sorry. Now I just said,
oh my god,
Right.
Kofi. I am so
you're
sorry.
not getting a Christmas card.
I'm
from me.
telling you. So he said he's cool with it. He gets it all the time.
Love you, buddy.
Hey, back to so Andrew Kirchhoff said, but the farther the CG is back, the more efficient the wing becomes.
That is true. And if
Okay,
you
what does that mean?
if you have a flying, the farther back the CG is, the more efficient. That's why sailplanes, bounce way far back. Old timers, free flights,
Okay.
they'll have a big old flying tail, and that gives you the ability to pull the CG even farther back. I'm probably wrong on one of those points and triggering somebody, but like my Telemaster, the Miglacy.
Mhm.
When we were talking about CG, I was like, dude, it has a flying tail. We're good. You know what I mean? Because we can really pull that back. I think on some of the old timers, you can go like 40+% back. I want to say the DLG planes, they can play 45, 50. Guys, if anyone does a DLG, and maybe Josh Finn's in here, he can talk to that. But
DLG, discus launch glider.
which you were a beast at, by the way.
I remember when David, the Swedish.
You almost ripped that thing in half.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, dude, you got some muscles. Or rage, one or the other. A lot of inertia. I didn't want to say
inertia.
that.
You get it going. It
Um,
goes.
But no, you can do that, but you compromise stability.
Okay.
25 to 30%. If you guys ever design an airplane or you're ever flying one of our planes, start with 25 to 30% back. Don't do any math. Just start slightly nose heavy, and I would lean more towards the 25. If you have a Warbird, Mustangs, things like that, they're in the 20%. If you have a plane that's a plank style like our Goblin, that's 10%. So, more efficient, yes, but the plane does have to go through the air and not tumble. So,
Yeah, and he even says it will tip stall also.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Just how it works.
Great points.
Part of the gig.
No, see, I didn't know that.
That's all good.
I'm just making it all up.
Yeah.
You could be.
Listen,
Be very
we wouldn't
detailed.
know any better.
Thanks. Hey, for everyone saying happy Thanksgiving, thank you. We are thankful for you and happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a great time with your family.
Yes, yes.
Speaking of family, if anyone's live building to get a tutor kit, trace it out.
Oh,
Trace it
man.
out
Yeah,
and toss it to someone else that has any desire. You can. Our speedboat kits make fantastic patterns to do that. So that's something you can do with any plane, and you have parts for life.
True.
So when will the Flurkin kit or the FTCA newsletter plans? We don't have a date for the plans for the Flurkin.
Yeah.
But December 3rd, next week, is our goal to release the Flurkin.
Yeah. So the speedboat kit will be December 3rd. As far as the plans for the Flurkin, it'll follow in the next couple months.
Yeah.
That's how, we've been doing it.
That's been the trend.
Yeah. So,
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Super stuff.
It'll be Flurkin awesome.
Flurkin.
Oh, that's dancing too close to the sun there, buddy.
It is. Whalen
stop it.
when I think it's supposed to say, when will the 40-inch Zero be coming out?
That is up to John.
48-inch.
48-inch. That is up to John. That was a great flying master.
Yeah.
He has that one in the back burner. I think what's coming out from John coming soon is the mini P40 we test flew.
Yeah, the P40 and the mini P40 and the Mosquito.
The Mosquito.
The Mosquito.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
He has a 50-inch Mosquito that he's
Yeah.
had forever. He refined it even more, but he scaled it down to 50-inch, which is far more manageable to put in a car. It flies like on rails. Mosquitoes are a hard one because getting that nose weight in there, it's really difficult, and getting them to be stable. And same thing with the P40s. I was a little bit jealous because P40s, like the reason you can see them in our studio and stuff, we didn't release it was because they had a couple weird tendencies, and I've never seen a P40 just be an absolute doll. And keep in mind, we have the Simple Series P40.
That's that wide-winged one?
No, that's a Spitfire there.
No, this one.
No, that's a Spitfire.
Spitfire?
P47.
That's P47.
Yeah, we moved the P40 out.
It's not it?
Yeah, it's not up now.
I don't see it.
Sorry.
You're throwing me for a loop. I'm like, wait a
It
second.
was in the studio.
Okay, it was.
But
Go.
we have the Fun Scale P47, and we oversized the tail. We made it stable. But this plane looks scale, and it flies just like if anyone's flown my Mini Mustang on rails. Absolutely on rails.
No, and that's off of an F pack, right?
It's off an F pack, and it screams.
Yeah.
It was on a 3-cell, and we're like, is it 4 cells? Like, no, it's 3. The Mini Trojan, we flew a Mini Trojan while we were in Missouri on a 4-cell. The plane literally sounded like it wanted to rip itself apart. It was like a battle cry going through the air.
So there's a picture of you out there.
Yes, there
and
is.
he's pointing, for this thing to go. Have you seen the picture?
I've seen it like that.
Okay, so the story behind that is after he pointed, David was on the sticks, and David just mashed it. And that plane went from like sitting still. It looked like it was catapulted.
It did look like
It was gone.
we were laughing because it was far more real than we anticipated.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just John likes power.
Mhm.
I don't like the Trojan on a 3-cell is just a awesome experience.
Mm-hmm.
Vertical for days, way more power than scale, but it's just fantastic. On a 4-cell, it's like, why would you want to do it? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
because you can.
Because you can.
Yes.
And it was crazy. Jeff was asking about the was he asking about the Flurkin?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's asking.
He
if
just
it-
tuned in late.
yeah.
We can give it just hold up in the background if you want. Jeff,
No.
it's our forward swept wing that was
Did
telling
you
me
see
about.
the picture of it, Jeff? I hope you didn't, because it's sitting right here.
Yeah, David's been talking to him.
It's right here.
Oh, good. Oh, there you go.
All right, not yet. Oh, here I'll show.
Oh, you're so meanly.
Did you catch that, Jeff? No.
No.
All right. Will there ever be the chance to get plans for the F-16 free or for sale? No. That's a master series.
And we can actually unpack a little bit more
Yeah.
about that too.
Yeah.
There is a technique John does. If you ever notice why the master series go so well together, and he also specifies order, he shingles the foam. And it's because whenever you do a laser cut, you have this thing called an undercut. It kind of like domes in a little bit. He uses that to his favor to actually shingle it. That means if you went ahead and took those plans and you cut them out by hand, first of all, you'd have to cut it so perfectly that showing Jeff.
Yeah.
You'd have to cut it so perfectly that you'd be able to mimic it. But that undercut that you get from the laser is exactly what gives that amazingly nice fit. So even if you got the plans, you would not get the fit and the form. And also the whole plane would need to be redesigned because every individual piece is dimensionally changed based on how it needs to shingle. There are layers of design that John does that we'll never unpack. And it just will not give you the experience.
Right.
So I would say, if you get a kit, trace it out for sure, but just don't count on that kit fitting as good or that cutout piece fitting as good. And if you wonder why, it's because that undercut is used, and you're talking about millimeters or even half a millimeter difference. It sounds like we're really romanticizing it, but that's what it takes to make these fit together.
Yeah.
And that's what I think separates John's designs.
There's a lot. I mean, not that there's not a lot that goes into your designs, but there's a lot more, engineering that goes into it.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. And it's, yes, $5 bath towels. That was from an early comment. I mean, people know about the Walmart $5 bath towels.
Oh,
people clubbing each other for them. It's just
they actually use the bath towels once they buy them. They go back and they start hitting people.
That's why we haven't seen aliens. They just keep on driving.
See you later. See you later. Those guys. No, we don't. We don't want that.
No.
That's funny.
Thank you.
Love it.
Well, hey, what other? We got a time for another question. Who's getting the last question in?
Yep.
Because one more, and then we have to get some words of wisdom.
Ooh.
Josh, any build tips for the AN2 Annie, or is that an Overstreet question?
No, the Annie's great. Just follow the symbol mapping is really critical on that, because where you start and stop talking about the shingling again is critical. With any of John's fuselages and designs, he has the same mentality. And then if there's anything that shows a little YouTube video, he has a specific video explaining that for it. But for the Annie, same thing as before. You build the tail, you build the nose, you join it in the middle with the skin and the formers and that little spline that he has. They're all keeping to those rules, which is awesome. But learn the symbol mapping. There's going to be 7-8 hours of videos that you need to consume. But once you learn that and learn how he thinks, these videos or the symbol mapping really fills it in. And we checked out with we gave a beta kit to Josh and Jesse New. I don't know how old they are.
Yeah, Josh is 18 and Jesse is either 15 or 16.
Okay. If you could bottle their passion, oh my golly! But they got the first 2 F-16s off the line. John personally sent it to them, and they did not sleep, according to their dad, and they built them. And John said, "Listen, you need to watch the videos, go through this." They did. They had a great experience, and they also gave some really amazing feedback that John applied. And John also did that with the sky effects with them.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, listen, you gotta, connect with me on these things, and I gotta explain this because it's a different technique because you don't use tape here, and it's amazing. But definitely watch the symbol mapping videos. Don't just say, "Oh, I built Bixler's plane, so I know how to build John's." You will have a bad experience.
Yes.
I am crude. We call it building dirty inside here, where I want to design a plane where the tail looks like an X versus straight. There's a good chance it'll still fly good, and that's why I exaggerate features on it and stuff to make it stable. John's are scale, they're artistic. They take a little bit more patience, a lot more finesse, but it is so easy to do once you learn those disciplines and you have a great experience with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Boom.
Well,
question answered.
And I love what Bailey says. Robert Bailey, if an alien saw someone picking up after a dog, they would wonder who was the master.
That's deep.
That's a word of wisdom right there.
We should have finished we could have finished the podcast. Robert, words of
Let's top that one now.
That's a tough. I'm be honest. That's a tough one to top.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
love it.
So hey, we want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and please tune in. On the same channel. No. We're going to be on the main channel, right?
I think we're on the main channel.
Yeah, we're going to be on the main channel for the live build on Friday. So we'll do it. Yeah, it'll be a lot like this too. It's going to be very laid back. Stefan will be on the keys. I'll be on the keys. Josh will be on the microphone. Just answering questions and talking and having a good old time. So join us for that. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And Stefan, any words of wisdom?
Yes, one quick one. If you get the opportunity to enjoy pumpkin cheesecake for me, that
You-
would be really great.
Oh, don't
Because
even.
today I've seen it twice today, both from Grinders and from David's wife.
I'm taking one home
And
with
he
me.
gets a pie. He gets a pie. I sit here and watch these people eat these
Yep.
wonderful pumpkin cheesecake
You
pies.
know,
And that's all I gotta say, guys. That's all I gotta say.
hey Lee, you're coming for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'll just take that pie with me, and it'll be ready for when you guys come over for Thanksgiving dinner.
no.
I promise there'll be
No.
one
I was
pie for you.
I was just going to eat your pie when I was over Thanksgiving.
You
leave
touch my
mine
pie, I will break
home.
you.
You heard he's threatening me.
Yeah.
Listen, you heard it here first.
Scott.
Go enjoy pie for Thanksgiving. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We love you guys.
Love you
and we'll
guys.
see you in the next one.
I will see it. Love it.
touch my pie.